If there has ever been a time in this year that will bring the most significant change for everyone, it has to be the month of April, as we see a major conjunction happening in the sign of Aries that portrays as a planetary sign to reset our experiences to be more focused on self-growth and fulfillment. This energy is the best time for you to focus on yourself and be dedicated to pour love and energy into your own cup first. Hi lovely viewers, and welcome back to the channel. We are going to be discussing the general monthly horoscope of all zodiac signs for the month of April, which is bringing forth a lot of changes in the planetary energies for this year, which will transform our lives and identities in a major way. Key players for this change are going to be brought forth by firstly Mars, as there is a huge conjunction of planetary energy in the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars, and also Mars is finally moving out of Taurus after 8 months and is going to go into the sign of Gemini. The other planetary energies which are going to be crucial during this period are going to be produced by the nodes of the moon, which are Rahu and Ketu, as a lot of planets right now are in the nakshatras which are ruled by them. Case in point, Saturn being in Rahu's Shatabisha nakshatra, Ketu being in Rahu's Swati nakshatra, and all the other planets going to be in conjunction in Ketu ruled nakshatra of Ashwini. Because there is this sudden surcharge of energy in this nakshatra, we must understand what themes does this nakshatra present, as it puts a focus on promoting healing and encouraging transformations in accordance to the mythological deity linked with this nakshatra being the two twins known as Ashwini Kumars, who were these semi-human horses who were doctors and healers. If you want to understand what nakshatras are, then click on the upper right hand corner of the video screen to watch the video explaining the concept previously released on the channel. We will start this video out by first understanding how these planetary energies will influence the happening for general public of the world, and then we will proceed to narrow down our lens to a more specific exploration into each zodiac sign's expected outcomes for this month of April. If you have been keeping up with the world events and energies even represented in your own personal lives, there has been occurrence of sudden events that have taken place in the financial markets worldwide, as well as your personal finances might have seen swift transformations, as Venus, which is a planet that signifies money and love in astrology, is conjunct Rahu in the sign of Aries in the beginning of this month. We have seen two of the biggest crashes in the financial markets since 2008 financial crisis take place within the previous month, as Silicon Valley Bank had a downfall of its assets within a period of 36 hours, and also another one of the largest financial institution of Credit Suisse lost all of its assets to now being brought out by another financial institution of UBS. These tumultuous transformations have not only racked its way through the financial markets, but also in personal romantic relationships, wherein we have seen a lot of couples calling it quits in a sudden declaration during this period. Now, when it comes to another aspect of the planetary energy very prevalent in this current period has been the uprisings and protests that have been cropping up worldwide, as collectives of people passionate about certain causes of equality, fair wages, and general welfare for farmers are subject to major discourse against the governmental regimes and oppression. This has a lot of correlation to the energy being represented by Mars moving into the vocal sign of Gemini, and especially into the nakshatra of Ardra, which, if we see the astrological mythology behind, is an Ugra or fiery energy that is manifested into breaking apart from oppression and channelizing this anger into constructive change. Now, when it comes to the major concentration of planetary energies in the month of April, most of it takes place in Aries, with the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter and Rahu all being present in Ashwini Nakshatra. This can clearly show us that when it comes to governmental control over individuals, there is going to be a pushback as Saturn puts its restrictive third aspect onto this major conjunction, showing that collectives of masses will protest against the exercise of sovereign control of the state's resources, leading to a face-off. If we evaluate this on a personal basis, this is to show that there can be instances of people around you in your friend group or general network circle who are being in some sort of way a blockage to a new phase or chapter in your personal development. Be aware of how people and your innate desires are hindering your process of transformation and development. Stay vigilant for instances of miscommunication festered through anger by the cumulative effect of the sign exchange that is happening between Mercury being in the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, and Mars being in the sign of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. And also we see that Venus moves into its own ruled sign of Taurus. So you must reevaluate your speech and security of your finances, as it can be a subject to having misunderstandings in your personal relationships also, since Ketu is present in the Mool Trikona sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. Don't be hesitant to work on your personal growth, as this can be a necessary element to smooth over and save any romantic relationships as well as your business relationships, because the concentration of planetary energy through the aspects formed by all planets in Aries is also coming on to Ketu in Libra, activating the 1-7 axis energies that seek balance and transformation. Now that we have understood the broader aspects of the results of these planetary energies initiated in the month of April, let us move on to discerning how these energies are influencing each of the signs. We will start with the sign that is going to be facing the most pronounced transformative energy, and that is the sign of Aries. For you, Aries, April is a very critical month of self-discovery and healing, as the major planetary conjunction takes place in your sign and through your first house of self. This shows us a clear indication that this month is pushing you to make changes through self-reflection as to how your group of friends or network circle can be holding you back from the necessary changes required for you to make, so as to move into a much needed new chapter of your life, wherein you feel more self-assured and confident about yourself. You could have been focusing on being more selfless and giving prior to this month, but that needs to pivot now, as you must dedicate your energy to healing and transforming yourself for your best first. Your planetary ruler Mars moving into the third house shows that you are right now in the best phase of motivation and efforts, where you can make major strides through hard work and dedication to transform your perception and reality into your wildest dreams and aspirations. Venus moving into your second house shows that despite having all this explosive energy concentration, you must be cordial in your speech to make the most significant financial gains and savings. Be really introspective of which relationships and friendships you would like to take forward with you during this new phase and beginning of your life. For you, Taurus, this is a very positive month because your planetary ruler Venus is transiting through your first house of self, showing that it's going to be a time wherein you feel the most like yourself and rejuvenated, or that you must work towards achieving it, as it is a conducive time to work upon health issues and monetary losses that you could have been facing until now. The major conjunction of planetary energy taking place in your 12th house in the sign of Aries shows that you need to let go of toxic habits of overworking yourself professionally and being giving to your colleagues to an extent that these things start to weigh heavily on your subconscious and block your personal growth and well-being. Take back the energy that you dedicate to these things and refocus it on healing yourself through practices that bring peace and lead to emotional regulation. The more you focus on bettering yourself now, it will only give you tenfolds later in the year, with the challenging placement of Ketu in your 6th house and Saturn in your 10th house impacting your career and work relations at this point. Know that the more you focus on dedicating your energy to self-development and transformation of your subconscious and emotions, the more relaxed and focused you will be to multiply your financial gains, with Mars being present in your 2nd house, further helping you to forge multiple resources of income. If you can move away from being giving to others and be more selfish in terms of your own benefit first at this point. For you, Gemini, this month can feel like a personally testing time, as your planetary lord Mercury will go retrograde, and consequently Mars is also present in your 1st house. So this can culminate as an energy wherein you come off combative right now to your friends and network circle. You can feel misunderstood and misrepresented by those closest to you, which can lead to disagreements and dissolution of relations. But despite it all, you must remember that it is not bad to want to defend or protect yourself from equations that feel restrictive or unrewarding due to possible differences in philosophies or morals, as Saturn puts that restriction from your 9th house. But it must not come from a place of insecurity and wrong projection. You will have to set a new precedent for being direct with your close relations, and possibly also creating a newer, more harmonious and conducive circle around you that will nourish your deepest wish fulfillment. This is a really good time to work hard towards minimizing your financial losses and rather catapulting your new connections into higher financial gains. Beware of how you are ideating and communicating during this time, as you are prone to being misunderstood and your narrative to be changed. This change or shake-up of people in your surroundings can also manifest into greater creative energy and even romantic relationships. For you, Cancer, this month will make your work and career the center stage of your life, as the major planetary energy takes place in your 10th house, showing that this is the perfect opportunity for you to redeem your image and make a new start to your work profile and career progression. This change in your career can come about in an unexpected fashion, yet do not be fearful of these instances and embrace the transformation wholeheartedly, as it is being brought forth by Saturn in your 8th house. Venus and Jupiter, also being in their own sign of Taurus and Pisces respectively, are going to prove to be a positive omen for you, as luck is on your side to achieve your financial wish fulfillment. Stay vigilant to communicate effectively, as the tendency to be misunderstood and cultivate disputes at work also arises with the sign exchange between Mars and Mercury. This also shows a possibility of having luck within higher educational pursuits to make catapulting career progress and being fortunate to achieve financial aid to study abroad. Focus on being able to secure your financial gains and not to be reckless in your spending habits. Try making it a practice to balance both your career aspirations as well as your home commitments, otherwise your familial relations can suffer. For you, Leo, this month will be beneficial as you come out of the funk of having your sign lord sun being exposed to the deeply transformative energy of the 8th house, to move into a more favorable and pleasant energy as you start to feel rejuvenated and explorative when Sun goes into Aries, and also you will possibly indulge in some soul searching and traveling. Your romantic and business relationships could be going through some challenging times, and this new burst of energy is going to help you to break out of that misery, to dedicate more time and energy into exploring your ideas of values and philosophy. Make sure you and your partner are on the same page to be able to cultivate and continue these relations. This positive surcharge of energy will also transform and translate into your work and network circle to create significant impact, But you must stay cautious of not getting into verbal scuffles with your friends or acquaintances over differences in your ideologies and morals. Also, a major event to take place is the solar eclipse, and this will be impacting you significantly. So, make sure to use this energy to cultivate new beginnings for higher educational pursuits as well as general elevation of your values and morals. For you Virgos, this month can prove to be a little challenging as your professional troubles cultivated through the two malefic planets of Saturn and Mars can become amplified through the influence of this new energy surge happening in your 8th house, bringing forth some unexpected events and transformations. Even though this can prove to be a little challenging time in terms of work, colleagues, and legal troubles and health issues, since even your sign Lord Mercury is going through your 8th house and also getting retrograde later this month. So you will need to be prepared to take these challenges head on, as you are not just being tested but also safeguarded by Saturn in your 6th house, even aspecting your 8th house. So don't lose hope and remember that this too shall pass and you will come out on the other end having known better and making not as many mistakes in relation to these testing times and subjects. Depend on the support of your loved ones like family, spouses, partners, as they will prove to be your lucky omen and help keep you steady through this storm. Don't try to have a predictable outcome during this time and embrace the changes and transformations that you are being asked to adapt as to navigate this testing time. The drive you have towards your career success will materialize and compound as you conquer over your obstacles. For you Libras, this month, new beginnings or breakthroughs about relationships, be it romantic or business, are going to be the major theme. There is a renewed planetary energy focus happening in your 7th house of romance, marriage, and business, wherein you could feel that your representation or respect in that equation is not reciprocated. Hence, you can intrinsically feel out of balance as you come to terms of how to deal with this dispute amicably. Your love life is already going through a sort of disadvantageous rough patch as Saturn aspects it from the 5th house of romance, and Venus, that is your planetary lord, is now situated into your 8th house. So this amalgamation of energies is really making you see things for what they really are and not through rose-tinted glasses. There could possibly even be some sort of revelation of secrets that will initiate the breakdown of a relationship on the rocks. You will also feel a renewed sense of interest in attaining spiritual or mystical knowledge. You are looking at redefining your faith to help you get through these personally turbulent times. Focus on your self-ascent rather than always pouring love into your partner's cup. Make yourself a priority and evaluate how you treat and love yourself first. For you Scorpios, this month can prove to be challenging in terms of your well-being, as there is an amplification of energy in your Dushtana or malefic houses, as firstly your planetary ruler Mars is transiting through the 8th house, and secondly an amplification of planetary energies is happening in your 6th house, both of which have themes relating to overall well-being of your health. Hence, you need to be careful not to trivialize any aches or pains and to take proactive action for restoration by immediate medical consultation, as it even is impacting your 12th house through its aspect onto Ketu. Now, when it comes to your personal relationships, there could be some issues being faced between your family members at home, and this could be a major source of conflict and disturbance. But the good omen herein comes as Venus, which is the planet of love, transits through your 7th house of romantic partnerships. Hence, you would be supported and loved by your partner at this testing time. Also, when it comes to the subject of your work environment and colleagues, You must stay careful not to have an outburst of energy that borders on a meltdown, since you are having a feeling of being betrayed by someone. So choose your actions and words wisely so as to not detriment yourself in the long run through sudden unexpected actions or words influenced by anger. For you Sagittarians, you are surely going to be one of the most benefited signs in the month of April, as a lot of focus is coming onto your trine 5th house, with even your planetary lord Jupiter getting conjunct, which shows that this is the perfect time to indulge in the pursuit of education and knowledge. So if you have any aspirations to study further, then this is a great period to get the ball rolling in that direction. You can also feel a new rejuvenation of interest and energy into your romantic relationships, as the 7th house of romantic partnership is getting double the energetic influence through Mars, as well as the sign exchange happening between Mercury and Mars, linking the 5th and 7th houses relating to romance. But you must make it a priority to not be too desirous or desperate in an alliance in order to not react obsessively in case things don't go exactly the way you expect them to. You can avoid this also by simply making sure you have clear and effective communication of intention so that things don't get misinterpreted and then fall through, as the cumulative energy of Venus, Mars, and Mercury can make that dispute or dissatisfaction a probability. Also, if you are leaning towards or already have a business, then this will also be a good time to streamline your efforts and hard work into greater balance in your business profits. Make sure you have proper accounting practices, or you could also run into legal trouble for the financial conduct. For you Capricorns, the one thing which is getting pronounced in different ways through each planetary placement this month is your relationship and dynamic with your family. As firstly, Saturn, your planetary lord, is in your 2nd house of family values. Then secondly, the major planetary conjunction is happening in your 4th house of peace and tranquility at home with family. And lastly, Venus also being present in your 5th house in the sign that represents close ties to family. Hence, altogether, this shows that you could possibly be running into some sort of ideological differences and disputes with your family regarding one of two things, which is either your monetary habits in relation to spending versus savings, or otherwise in relation to your creative risk appetite when it comes to maximizing your monetary profits through speculative money markets. These distinctions in monetary ideals can lead to explosive disputes and verbal spats, which might even prompt you to pursue moving or finding a better home environment in case you share the same residential premises. All of this tension can even implode onto your work efficiency and career. This can be a testing time for your relations with your family, so be sure to try to deal with the situation in the best way possible so as to not get swayed by emotion and resentment. For you Aquarius, this month brings forth energy which serves as a perfect time to align your personal aspirations with your hard work to cultivate the best opportunities for yourself in terms of taking on an educational or creative course to further your knowledge and finally fine-tune the output of your efforts. If you have been facing some challenges with regards to the actualization of your educational efforts and aspirations, then this cumulative planetary energy of Mars in your 5th house and major planetary conjunction in the 3rd house will be the push you needed to achieve your goals. You can also feel support and love through your family members during this time of trial. Your planetary lord Saturn being present in your own sign in the 1st house goes to show that it's going to make things a little harder to achieve, but it will make sure that you get the benefit in multiples if your hard work and dedication to pursue your cause is unwavering. So keep pushing forth, as a great time for your wish fulfillment is just around the corner. For you Pisces, this month can be a mixed bag of positive and negative energies, as your focus will be divided between family and financial affairs. You are going to have financial stability and security at the forefront of your mind, as you could have been possibly dealing with some losses prior to this month. So, in order to not continue that streak, you are putting all your energy into providing a stable home and financial pool to your family. Yet, this month there could be some ideological differences between your family and your approach in the matter, which is causing you to feel rather dejected. And this is even something that could be impacting the monetary benefit that you were expecting from them. You need to be cautious as to how the communicational channel is flowing between you and your family, as this can be a major cause of distress and misunderstanding, as shown by the sign exchange between Mars and Mercury within the second and fourth house of speech and family. Trust that the conflict resolution is close and you will resume to having a better functioning relationship with your family and peace within your home. And with these personalized predictions for each of the signs in the month of April, I come to the end of this video. I hope the predictions have resonated with you and it would be helpful for you to navigate the planetary energies in the month of April. Please don't forget to like the video if you found value, and also subscribe to the channel to stay updated with all the individual transit videos regarding this crucial month of planetary energies in April. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon in the next video. Until then, take care you all.